Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different. If you're turning, welcome back. You know how we do if it doesn't resonate with you, if you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. Channel members, you'll have a collective message post later today, so definitely check that out. If you're interested in channel memberships, that link will be in the description box below. If you're somebody that listens to overnight affirmations, meditations, or subliminals, definitely check out the new channel. It'll be linked in the description box. The first video on that new channel will be posted tomorrow. And be sure to hit the notification if you do subscribe, because since you haven't watched videos from that channel, it won't automatically show up in your feed when I do post. So if you hit the notifications, then you'll see it. Okay, let's go ahead. Taking a step aside. And allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. It's interesting, very heavy underworld energy coming through. And it's interesting that that's the energy coming through, and I felt very guided to pick some very colorful decks for this one. There is this sort of rearranging that's taking place, and I'm almost seeing like rubble. There's something that was like rubble. You know how like when a building is demolished, if they don't do anything on that land, it takes time for the land to reclaim that space, right? It doesn't often take long. It might take a couple of years. There's something here that has toppled inside of our life structure or inside of our lives that it's been a little while now, and it's like the growth is coming back. That's the energy that's coming through. Okay. Something feels like it's coming back to life or reawakening. Okay. This is a very, okay, so I'm going to say this is a kind of a big message that's coming through. We have here, I'm going to read these out of order because I want to kind of make it a little bit more easy to understand. We have the first card on the bottom, and this is answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Right. The next card is empaths, highly sensitives, connect to nature. In other words, get grounded, right? The reason why we're getting grounded is because you're already doing it. Stop overthinking it. Keep facing your true north. And then the final card that we're going to read is this priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? So with this first energy that I'm getting, with this sort of like crumbling of some sort of structure inside of our life, the structure may be something that we built. It may be something that was built for us, right? It may be something that we had no control over. It was just this sort of structure. For those of you who aren't familiar with tarot, the tower represents, you know, kind of a tower, a fortress of some kind, and lightning comes and destroys the fortress, and you see the people with their crowns, in other words, people filled with their ego identities, right? The need to keep themselves safe, the desire for more, the desire for, you know, all those things that we have as people, they're falling out of the tower. And this is something that's necessary in order for a stronger, more stable structure to be built. This is oftentimes something that happens through really tragic events, either tragic events or events that come at a great personal cost. So someone here has had this happen. This may not necessarily be something that was recent, but it's taken a long time for that growth to return. One of the reasons why this is happening is because that structure needed to be displaced in order for us to recognize this, that there's something very deeply ingrained inside of our soul, right? There's something that we have been drawn to, that we've been magnetized to. There's something that we know we need to do. And this isn't something that is easy to do or even possible to do when we have that ego identity so firmly built around us that we have limiting beliefs. We don't believe that we can. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there are these structures that limit our ability to go out and actually do the thing that we know that we need to do for ourselves. Someone is starting to do this because this growth is coming back. Someone is starting to do this. You may be overthinking it, right? Someone may be overthinking it. That message is coming through very clearly here with the "you're already doing it." Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Sometimes when we know that we need to do this thing over here, we get so focused on this thing over here. A really good thing to be able to do is to focus on the feeling that you're trying to achieve with the thing, right? And allowing that to kind of align to you. Sometimes the thing that is required to align isn't going to look like what you thought it was going to look like, and that's okay. But it is essentially that emotional energy that is the vibration, right? And so we want to have the vibration carried inside of us so that we can attract the thing that is appropriate to match that resonance. And that is part of what your soul is calling you to do, right? For a lot of people, for example, if a person's like, oh, I want to help a lot of people, how would that make you feel, right? How would that make you feel? What is it that you think that you're supposed to be doing? Because we all carry that resonance inside of us where we understand how the thing that we feel deeply is supposed to make us feel. How would you feel if your soul was fulfilled, right? And by holding on to that energy, you're naturally aligning yourself to take the courses of actions necessary, right? You're giving your brain the code that this is what we're doing with our time here. So someone here, you may even need to get grounded because maybe you're so busy chasing the idea of what you think it's supposed to be that you're getting pulled in different directions. For some of you, you may just be overthinking things. And so again, one of the messages is go get grounded. This is especially true for people who are extremely sensitive or that are empaths, right? We not only do we absorb other people's emotions, but our own emotions run so deep. So definitely get in tune with those emotions. Understand that your emotions are the program, and you can control that program. So allow yourself to step into a space where you're thinking, whatever my true north is, whatever my soul's desire is, whether you know what that is or you don't, how would you feel if you fulfilled it, right? How would you feel to feel fulfilled? And allow yourself to sit in that space every single day and manifest that thing for yourself, because whoever this message is for, this is how you're being identified. Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? So, no matter how you resonate, maybe you resonate as somebody who is more of a priest energy, right? Priest, priestess. This is like the messenger of the divine, the spokesperson for the divine. This is somebody who helps other people. This is somebody who helps the people, right? There's sort of this leadership energy that's coming through inside this card, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in a traditional sense. For some of you, this is about allowing yourself to administer to the spirits in a way that is appropriate for you. And every person does that in a different way. For some of you, it might be through writing. For some of you, it might be through teaching classes. For others of you, it might be speaking about your own journey. For some of you, it might be creating. There's this very beautiful energy of coming to the forefront that's coming through inside this message, and this is what someone already knows is part of their path. It's part of their journey. So let's go ahead. The word attunement. What are you attuning to, right? That's the message that's really coming through inside this, is attunement. Paying attention to what energies you're attuning to, the frequencies that you're attuning to, where that's going to lead you. Because for some of you, there may, and we have this as people. I just had a conversation about this morning with a friend. FOMO is real, right? A lot of people, though, they have this fear of missing out. And because of that fear of missing out, it almost puts this lens on an external thing, whether it's a situation, a person, a place, and says, hey, this is it. Even though deep down inside we know that it's not. And so really allowing yourself to be in that high priestess energy, right? That observer role, rather than chasing after things, so that you can understand, is this actually right for me? And then making your decision from there is going to be important for somebody, because we do have an energy of grasping that's coming up. I also see this in a different way. I think that for some of you, you're coming so close to the thing, you're coming so close to the essence of the thing, or you have it in front of you now, that it's literally something that you just have to grasp. You just have to hold it, right? There may be some overthinking that's preventing that for somebody. Here we have transformation. This whole process is a process of transformation. Someone has been very immersed inside their own healing journey, and some of you may not be doing that consciously. That's not always something that consciously happens. For some people, it happens naturally with time, because they're naturally introspective, right? They naturally already have a very good sense of identity. But for others of us, though, it takes a lot of work, right? And so someone here, you've been doing a lot of work in order to get yourself into this space, and now whatever it is that you know is being represented by this card, it's like it's within your grasp now. Love it, love it. Okay. Let's see. Last card. And the bottom. Okay. Healing, exactly. So this is the whole process that's taken place. There's a lot of healing. We have the Valley of Annihilation. And so this is kind of what I'm talking about with that tower. There has been a very low that someone has had to go through. This may be recently. This may be something someone's going through right now. I'm feeling that for the majority of you, this is something that happened. We may have been in that valley for a very long time. It may have reached new depths, right? But there is this healing energy that is being injected into this space now, and I want to point this out. These two cards look very similar to me. She's sitting here and she's looking at the sun. This bird here is inside the nest, inside this very comfortable space, and sometimes that space isn't comfortable. Sometimes it's claustrophobic. It feels like we're trapped, but it has the sun up here. And in both of these cards, it's almost this idea of the life-giving, right? There's something that's presenting itself for someone at this time. It's like a life-giving moment, a life-giving energy. There may even be a choice that needs to be made. I feel for some of you, there's not even a choice. It's just like, oh yeah, this is it, right? That's really the feeling that it's giving me, is this, aha, this is it. So whatever is happening inside of this collective, I think it's going to be different for every single person. It's something that is attuning you. It's attuning you to your true self, for example. Let's see. There's a bunch of roses in this card, so it is part of an unfolding of self. More roses because of this deck. We have 7 of materials showing up, and then we have the 9 of emotions. So when we look at this 7 of materials, the 7 of Pentacles is really about something that's growing, having patience while something grows. Again, there may have been some time that passed between this sort of Valley of Annihilation tower thing and the growth that's starting to come back. Some time may have passed. For some of you, it's going to be 7 years because of the 7 of materials. But this is a space in which oftentimes we are spent in our thoughts, right? We're thinking, we're alone with ourselves. So some of you, you may have gone through, well, I'm willing to say that most of you have gone through a period of deep isolation. And this is a time of healing when we go within, right? When we have that isolation, we don't have as much contact with other people. We don't have all this extra input into ourselves and into our lives. And so the 7 of materials here shows that there was a time like this. Some of you may still be in this time, but this is a time where things unfold. Oftentimes inside those spaces, they unfold in a way that we're not necessarily seeing them because they're happening on an internal landscape. Here, what we have is we're moving into this energy, the 9 of emotions. This is happiness. This is the 9 of cups. If you look, she's like floating, right? But she's floating in this very zen-like state, which is also being shown on this card. So this is the get grounded. Some of you may be in a space right now where you're extremely happy, very excited about something. Remember to ground. Remember to ground. We want to have realistic expectations for things. And I want to say too, by realistic expectations, it doesn't mean not expecting the best. Sometimes we think that realistic is the very negative view of things, that we have to kind of bring our ideas down and settle for things. Remember, don't settle. That's not what we're talking about. It's not allowing things to be what they are, not what we idealize them to be, right? Sometimes we have to check in with reality and allow that to be the case, while still holding on to that energy of what it is that we truly want and allowing things to align that way. Okay. Okay. The next one, and this is, did I even say that at the beginning of this? I don't know if I did. The 6 of voices. If you're a channel member, I mention it inside the membership reading that's posting this evening about the energy I'm getting for this particular reading. And that was that there's this very big sort of energy that's behind it, a very big being, kind of energy unfolding in this space, like someone is being led. There's almost this like divine guidance energy that's stepping in here. And there may have been moments where this particular direction may not have happened, right? It's like choices that we could have made. And it's almost as though there's something looking out for us that's helping us make the choices that we need to in order to bring us deeper and deeper into this. This is a process that's going to happen no matter what, right? But the choices that we make either make it happen quickly or take a long time, sometimes lifetimes. So this is a very interesting energy. Whatever it is that someone is answering the call to do is extremely important to their evolution or to their soul's journey. I'm not really getting a vibe of a guide off of this, so I don't really understand what this energy is that had stepped forward earlier when I was first sitting down to attune to this message. But it feels very important. Whatever this is, it feels very important. Okay. This one? Okay. And then the bottom. We have the Page of Materials. It's interesting, a lot of Pentacles cards are coming through. So this is something that's happening in the 3D. It's something very physical and 3D oriented. We have the Page of Materials. This is the Page of Pentacles in traditional tarot. This is the start of something, and this is the start of something that's actually tangible. It's something that is happening that we can see, we can feel it, we can touch it. Here with the Nine of Materials, this is the self-made man or woman. For some of you, there may be a business involved in this. There may be something that you create being involved in this, because the Nine of Materials, the Nine of Pentacles, it's the woman who's sitting in the garden. She has the hawk on her arm, and she's surrounded by everything that she's created. And so there is something very creative in this element as well. We have the Queen of Materials on the bottom. That's kind of wild. This out of like 5 cards, 4 of them are Pentacles. Queen of Materials is showing up there. So there's something that's starting that we're really nurturing. That's what the Queen of Pentacles does. She's the nurturing queen. She's growing something and she's tending to it very delicately, very lovingly, having a lot of patience for it, because the earth element is slow. Whatever this is, it's been developing slowly over time, and it may not have always been in the forefront, right? With the Page of Materials, we see that this person's face is fading into the rose. So the identity or the image of the thing fading into the process is actually causing it to unfold. For some of you, it's taken a very long time. Like I said, for some of you, it's 7 years here with the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, let's see. Let's get one of these cards, and I'm going to read from the book for this card. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, you fell. And it is, of course, the Great Work. It could not be any other card. All right. The Magnum Opus. Okay. We'll do this. And just like the Queen of Pentacles, this is about attention, devotion, and vocation. The Magnum Opus shimmers in the distance, promising purpose, achievement, and understanding. When will we get there? When will our efforts be recognized? Amidst pressure and expectations, we come to realize each alchemist's life is an accumulation of moments in which attention is placed upon a subject within the laboratory. The artist draws a single line, the poet scribes a single word, the rose forms a single leaf. The Magnum Opus card reminds us that the alchemical garden grows from seeds tended to by devoted hands and the grace of sun, water, and earth. You cannot force the great work. You cannot claim it or complete it. This card arrives to whisper words of encouragement. You are in the right place, the most important place for you. This is the alchemical garden. Tend to the youngest growth. Be delicate and precise. So again, someone here has something new that they are tending to. Lots of rose imagery coming through across multiple decks. So there is something that is unfolding, something that is opening at this time. With the Magnum Opus, the Great Work, oftentimes I think of this as the point, right? Again, going back to answer the call, the point of this incarnation, the point of our path, the point of our journey, sometimes the point that we choose for ourselves. I want to notice here also the colors on this card, red, yellow, and blue. I'm just going to layman term this from an artist's perspective. These 3 colors create all colors, right? They create everything. And so there is the elements that are coming together inside of someone's life as part of this valley of annihilation that is now starting to grow over. All these experiences that happened are starting to coalesce in almost this sort of blending and merging of the self that is from which all things are going to be created. So there's a heavy creative element coming into this as well. So I'm going to leave this here. Whoever's message this is amazing energy. It's amazing energy. And if this resonates with you, please hit that like button. Feel free to leave me a comment, because comments are open, because the channel is starting tomorrow when I'm done with things. And until next time.